Hello friends, this is Roxanne, and today, I'm going to recap the third part of the anime called How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, which consists of Season 2 episodes. Lumikina and Tria are fleeing through the forest. Tria knocks Lumikina out of the way of a trap worm, but gets devoured. Their pursuer, Gewalt, appears and mocks her, then summons a beast mushroom that uses its tentacles to strip and molest her. She prays to God for help, and he laughs and says her prayers are useless. But she glows with energy. Then Diablo abruptly falls out of the sky and crushes the mushroom. A few minutes ago, Diablo, Rem, and Shira were exploring when he decided to test a new spell. He makes a log levitate and rides it into the sky like a surfboard. As Rem and Shira are amazed, he notices the energy emitted by Lumikina and rides over to investigate. His spell wears off, causing him to fall out of the sky and land on the beast mushroom. While he recovers, Gewalt yells at him for killing his creature. While Lumikina believes he is God who has come to save her because of her prayers, then freaks out because she is in a state of undress. He covers her with his cape and tries to explain that he is not God, but she insists that he is while Gewalt says he is just a demon. Diablo asks why a paladin is attacking a girl and Gewalt says he doesn't know nor care. He's just following Visho's orders. Gewalt summons a hunter worm, then has his trap worm ambush them by creating a pit where they would fall into its jaws. Diablo catches Lumikina and leaps out in time, then slays it with the spell arrow shredder. Gewalt is amazed, but thinks the effort of doing that would weaken Diablo. Diablo says he can use spells multiple times, but Gewalt calls him a liar and summons several creatures. Diablo casts Cross Blizzard to encase Gewalt and his creatures in ice. Lumikina praises God for his victory, then passes out due to the extreme cold. As he holds her, Rem and Shrera arrive and become jealous, while he says it is not what it looks like and to help him. As they leave, an enraged Gewalt starts breaking free of the ice while the trapworm's body shatters, exposing an unconscious Tria. At the Peace of Mind Inn, Lumikina, now in a nightgown, asks Rem and Shira about their relationship with God. Shira starts to explain that Diablo is their master, but Rem shuts her up and says Diablo is the leader of their adventuring group. Lumikina says he must be God, because if he isn't, then they must get married because he saw her bare skin. In another room, Diablo tells Clem and Edelgard to remain hidden until they learn who Lumikina really is. They hear Rem and Shira yelling in jealousy about the marriage comment and he enters the room. Lumikina asks if he is God, deciding it would be a bad idea to admit he is a demon lord. He says must keep his true identity hidden, convincing her that he is God, but she agrees to call him Diablo. Kneeling before him, he asks who she is. She starts to glow intensely, surprising them, as she says she is just a woman who respects God, but she is the head priest of the church. The Cardinal Vishos ordered her eliminated for investigating embezzlement and other corrupt activities in the church. She mourns Tria, thinking she is dead, and explains she was planning to go to Zircon Tower to reach Batuta, a paladin she believes is not corrupted. Diablo remembers his old dungeon from Cross Reverie is located there. Rem and Shira decide to help her and ask him for permission. Diablo wants to avoid conflict with the church, but decides to help her. Clem and Edelgard enter the room, with Clem demanding more biscuits. Lumikina and Clem immediately become hostile as they can sense each other's holy and demonic energies. Edelgard tries to attack Machina, but Diablo stops her and orders them to cease hostilities. The next day, they leave Clem and Edelgard in care of May, Sylvie, Celestine, and Emile. As Diablo, Rem, Shira, and Lumikina prepare to leave, Clem gives them a parting gift by supercharging Shira's bow with her dark magic. Rem told her that their priority is to escort Lumikina safely to Batuta. She also told her to bear it since she is an elf, but they are surprised that the city is not lively. Everyone in the city is sad and weak, and they look like people who are starving. A lady confronts Lumikina asking her to heal her child. Diablo bumps with a boy who asks him if he is an adventurer. He asks the kid what he wants, and the kid asks him if he is interested in taking over the dungeon that was recently discovered. The kid also told Diablo that he could introduce him to a dungeon guide and a master lockpicker. He reveals that these horns are the answer to everything. Diablo asks the kid what kind of dungeon it is. The kid replies that it is incredible. Right from the entrance, there are lion statues that attack you right at the gate. Diablo thinks that he knows the dungeon that the boy is talking about. He asks him if the dungeon has 13th floors, and the boy reveals that no one has not been able to pass the 3rd floor. They are also aware that there is more floors since they are stuck on the 3rd floor. Diablo asks the boy if there is a different colored slime on the 3rd floor that they have to defeat. The kid agrees and reveals that there were a lot of different colored slimes wandering around there. Diablo comments that he knew it. It is his dungeon. The kid asks Diablo who he is. Diablo wanted to say that he is the Demon King, but he heard a voice of a lady saying something. Diablo looks behind, wondering what is happening. He realizes that the trio is in trouble again. They are scolding a knight who is refusing to help a lady that is injured. The knight is the only one who has the power to heal the child of a lady. She begs him to help the child, and the knight comments that if they need aid or priest, they must in line and pay the donation. Diablo heard everything and wonders what kind of man is that knight. He got furious since the knight is letting his nation die because they are poor and have no money. The kid comments the knight is Paladin Brigade. Diablo asks the boy what he is trying to say. The boy reveals that the knight is the subordinate of the paladins and soldiers of the church. He also reveals that the paladins are violent men. Diablo realizes that they came here looking for head paladin Batutas's aid, but it won't work since his men are like that. Lamakia told the knight that it is written in the holy scripts for the civilians to be helped by knights. The knight got furious and wanted to smack Lamakia, but Diablo sent him flying with a single blow. Diablo defeats the priest when he gets violent and Lamakia heals the child. A monstrous sand whale attacks the city and Diablo tries to fight it, but requires the help of Batuta and the city's leader, Phanus Laminitus, to drive it away. Batuta apologizes for his subordinates' behavior, but Phanus heavily taxed the church, making them desperate for funds. Phanus says God is not real and the church are just swindlers. She tries to shoot Lamakia, and when Batuta blocks it, she says that since God did not stop her, that proves he is not real, then leaves. Lamakia is appalled that many people have death knell and are denied healing due to lacking money, but Batuta says they must be pragmatic. Batuta takes the group to his mansion and serves them food. While Diablo and Shira bathe, Batuta and his maid meet Rem and Lamakia for a discussion. Just as Lamakia deduces that death knell is actually a curse, not a disease. She and Rem are drugged and abducted by Batuta and his maid, Shirlu. Horn spied on them and warns Diablo and Shira. Lamakia and Rem wake up tied to crosses in an underground altar where an orgy takes place to extract the evil essence this releases to produce death knell. Batuta reveals that he has experienced no tragedy and has no excuse for his actions other than he enjoys being evil. His plan is to corrupt Lamakia with lust so he can make a death knell powerful enough to assassinate Phanus. Diablo, Shira, and Horn arrive before Shirlu can sexually torment her. Diablo and Batuta battle with Diablo at a disadvantage because using his power risks triggering a cave-in. Diablo is impaled, but survives and takes off Batuta's arm. Shirlu threatens Rem, but Shira shoots her with an arrow that turns her to stone, while Horn unties the girls. Batuta declares they have already lost and makes a final attack that Diablo counters and Batuta is apparently killed, but this triggers a cave-in. They escape, but discover Lamakia has death knell. As she cannot heal herself, Diablo says they must enter the dungeon, as he had stored an item that can heal. Meanwhile, the fallen Veracnus attacks Phanus in her bath and warns her that his army will attack Zircon Tower City soon and then he will force her to join his harem before leaving. The group is intercepted by Phanus' fleet, as she believes Diablo is working with Veracnus. They explain their plan to retrieve an item from the dungeon that can cure everyone of death knell, but she doesn't believe them and orders them arrested. They escape when Diablo triggers an earthquake. Gewalt arrives and offers Phanus his services, learning of the dungeon. 4 days later, the group arrives at the dungeon deep in the desert, but Lamakia does not have long before the death knell will kill her. Diablo conceals the fact that he built the dungeon. After defeating the guardian at the entrance, they encounter a labyrinth. Horn had prepared a map, but it is useless because the walls shift over time, so Diablo simply blasts through the walls. After battling monsters, they are suspended in a basket over a river of lava and must answer trivia questions to pass, which they achieve. To pass another level, they must entertain an army of ape-like white Jaegers with a song and dance routine. On another level, they must move along a narrow ledge above a raging river. Gewalt ambushes them and nearly kills Lomikina, but Horn tackles him and they both fall in the river. Diablo tells the others to keep moving and jumps into the river to save Horn. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 4. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.